decree to break the chains and set us free. Riders on the prairie, the wild and free, bows and arrows, Colt 45's decree. No more tyranny, no more lies, under open skies we rise. Fight, fight, fight till we reclaim the night, cowboys and Indians in the blazing light. Fight, fight, fight till the dawn is near, we'll never live in fear. On the blood moon, we all unite, horses thunder in the night, no longer slaves to the empire's might, strength in numbers, strength in rise. On the blood moon, we unite, horses thunder in the night.
Welcome, my fellow tribe of patriots, to another episode of Cowboys and Indians, episode 31. Steve, how are you doing today?
Man, if I was doing any better, I'd be Volodymyr Zelensky. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Oh,
How are you,
wait.
brother? I'm great.
Oh man, I'm doing all right. It was a little bit of a stressful day, but we're moving on. And you know what? It kind of felt weird. It kind of felt like a slow news day, but I'll tell you what, a lot of things happened today that are very, very interesting and kind of it's interesting to see where we're going to go, because over the weekend there was a lot of debate going on about the meeting with Zelensky, Trump, and Vance that did not go well at all.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it did not go well for anyone rooting for Ukraine.
Sure.
And as for the MAGA voters, it went extremely well, because you know what we voted for? We voted to end this war. And the only way to get that done, the only way that we're seeing right now, is for Trump to put his foot down and tell Zelensky, little Z, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to continue this war on for years and years. And I would say one of the most disrespectful things, not only was he disrespectful in the Oval Office, because apparently he can only wear a suit to the World Economic Forum, but once he left the Oval Office, he went around basically talking behind Trump's back. The media runs cover for him and is saying that Zelensky wants to make a deal, and they want to paint Trump and JD Vance in the bad light. And I mean, just what did you think about that, Steve?
Oh, man.
The meeting in general.
The whole okay, so whenever Zelensky was getting out of the limo and meeting up with Trump, and when he said, "Oh, he's all dressed up today," first of all, I think that set the tone, right? But the whole meeting, Vance and Trump, they're completely over it. And you know, Trump got impeached for questioning on Ukrainian corruption. A lot of people sort of forget that. So Trump really, he remembers everything when people go after him. But overall, I do know that they also know that it was a huge money laundering op, and it's finally over. So I will say this, though. Trump is so good at deporting people. He deported Zelensky out of America.
Hey, that's I welcome it. And so do many, many MAGA voters alongside, because for too long, Zelensky has come into the United States and basically threatening us, basically saying that if you guys do not support us, then it's going to come to your doorstep.
Yeah, to the point where he was like stating that we need American soldiers to go fight on the front lines with us. Excuse me? No way. We're giving well, okay, so I'm not going to say we, because it's the military-industrial complex or the New World Order, whatever you want to call them. They gave them so much money, and they laundered it back to who knows where. We're going to figure that out eventually. But we are not sending our sons and daughters over there to fight for those people. Whenever this could have been resolved in the first place, the only reason why Russia invaded was, one, because Trump wasn't in office, and two, there are two provinces in the eastern part of Ukraine that are highly, highly Russian. They're pro-Russian. They speak Russian. In the past, Ukraine has actually committed genocide against these people, and they wanted to be part of Russia this entire time. And Zelensky knew this. He didn't want to give up any of that land. And this whole talk about NATO wanted to expand eastward, Democrats have known since the 90s, and even Joe Biden himself stated that if there was a eastern expansion into Ukraine closer to Russia, it's gonna provoke a retaliation from Russia, and they know that, and they did it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, and the all the same players are at it too. That's the crazy part, is like
Mhm.
the same players have been working behind the scenes for decades now, you know, basically my entire life. And
Oh yeah,
it's interesting to see it kind of come to a head here. And I think a lot of people are kind of waiting to see what comes of this, because my frustration with this entire thing is that it seems like a lot of people have kind of forgotten about Agenda 2030. It's like, okay,
correct.
we got Trump in office, so it's all going to be okay. But no, the powers that be haven't forgotten about that, and they're still pushing for World War III, because in order to take over America in the way that they want to, they want you
Mhm.
to own nothing and be happy. They need World War III. They need martial law, like what's happening in Ukraine,
Exactly.
where they shut down elections, where
Yes.
they disappear journalists, they shut down churches. They are literally oppressing their own people because
Yes.
they're in war. They're kidnapping men to conscript them into the
Yes.
military, and they throw them on the front lines a week later. Okay, they need that here in America, and so the only
Yep.
way to do that is to make sure that World War III happens. And the puppet being used right now is Zelensky, and all of the Democrats, all of the people who are supporting this insanity don't see it at all, and they're not afraid of World War III because they've lived in their happy little bubble their entire lives. So they go out into the streets of New York, and while in Ukraine, the women and children are crying because, I mean, they're literally throwing protests in Ukraine because they don't have their husbands anymore. They don't have fathers anymore because they're all being put onto the front lines as cannon fodder. But the women in New York, the liberal white women, are coming out there and saying, we support Ukraine. Well, guess what, you guys? The women and children over in Ukraine feel the exact opposite, because right now the ratio of women to men are about 20-1, because they've sacrificed almost an entire
Yes, dude.
generation of men. It is insane. You guys are advocating for sending an entire generation of young men to be blown up so that way they can somehow get NATO involved and start World War III.
Exactly.
And
Dude, yes.
if we don't stop this right now, if Trump doesn't continue to put his foot down and say, no, we're not doing this, then we will get into World War III. China's going to get involved. Freaking North Korea is going to get involved. I mean, there's so many forces that are just all going to hop on, and then all of a sudden, we're going to be in a war that we can't back out of. So Trump
Absolutely,
is
dude.
stopping it right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of incredible how people can't recognize this. And to kind of back up to one of your first sentences, the conscription into the military. All these videos that you're seeing right now, they are months old. All of these people that are getting pulled into from bars and what have you, this has been going on this entire time. Did you know that they have a very secure border all the way around Ukraine, not just on the Russian side? They are surrounding the border so men can't escape.
We paid for it.
Oh, yeah, no, we're there to secure their border, but not ours. What a
Yep.
bunch of bullshit. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So Agenda 2030, New World Order, they're trying to get an epic collapse out of this, and luckily, it did not get to that point. And Putin was smart enough to actually not go to that level. I mean, he did signs of aggression where he sent over hypersonic missiles that were nuclear capable, but they were duds. So what he did was to show them, FAFO, if you really want to go there, we can. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's Trump that has been stopping all of this, and they knew it. That's why it was a huge Ukraine psyop, the Slava Ukraini thing, just like they did with COVID. When you
Mm-hmm.
see the media go so hell bent on a narrative, even Fox News was backing Ukraine and all this stuff. When you see everybody in one conglomeration together in this one scenario or narrative, you know something is up. That should be your first sign. And hopefully, COVID woke some people up, but the ones that are still backing Ukraine, guess what? You can still, right now, to this day, join the Ukrainian National Guard. You can sign your checkbook. You can pay all your money to that little midget dude that does weird dances, or you can join their guard and you can go serve over there. Bye.
Yeah. The new Democratic tax is to if you advocate for the war, send your sons first. And I mean that in all of my sincerity. If you're advocating for this Ukraine war, you should send your sons. And if you don't have sons, sign up yourself.
Exactly.
But first send your sons. I think that would completely change the narrative, because
Absolutely.
they would understand immediately, like, well, I don't want my son to go on the front line. No shit. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, it should be federal law that if any politician votes for some sort of military package overseas, they have to serve on the front lines, or someone in their family member, or make it to where that's a draft order or something. I'm sick and tired of these warmongering assholes that are putting the 99% of the world in harm's way for just the 1% to live in luxury. I'm fucking sick and tired of it, dude. Like, I served overseas and I was part of the military industrial complex. And you know what? Whenever I served with distinction and dignity, because at that time I wasn't fully awake. But when I went overseas and I saw everything that was going on, dude, I can't back this anymore. So it just is what it is now.
Yeah. And there's no reason why we should be dragged into this war. It is so frustrating to continue arguing for this, because Ukraine is not a part of NATO. They never have been. They never will be. They better, like, if they were to be inducted into NATO, the U.S. should draw out before that's official. And I mean that in all sincerity. The U.S. should abandon NATO and say, fuck you, fuck all of you guys. We're done. We're not backing you anymore. We're going to be the leaders. Okay, that's one thing that I've been trying to stress, is that if we are to be the leaders of the free world, then we actually have to lead. One of the ways that we do that is by stopping this war and bringing Zelensky and Putin down to the table and saying, you guys have to work this out. It's not our job anymore. If you guys can't figure this out, well, too bad. Then Ukraine's just going to get completely annihilated, and it is what it is. But Zelensky comes out talking all big that, he doesn't want to compromise at all. And it's like, what? Bro, what are you talking about? You have no leverage. The only reason you made it this far is because of our money and our military intelligence and our military equipment that we've been sending over by the billions to you, and you've lost 100 billion of it? I wonder where that went when all of your government officials have been filling their pockets. Zelensky himself has bought tons of mansions, been featured on Vogue, and I'm supposed to feel bad for this guy? And he shows up in his propaganda outfit like, oh, I don't want to wear a suit until the war's done. Brr. No, fuck you, dude. I know, like, I've seen you pose for Vogue. I've seen you in your freaking mansions. I don't believe you, and I don't want to support you anymore. I'm done with this. So I got exactly what I voted for, to stop this bullshit aid to Ukraine and to stop this war. This is exactly what I voted for. Yeah,
dude, I've never, ever backed this war from the get-go. And remember about a year and a half ago when that Ryan Macbeth dude did that hit piece on me saying I was a Russian asset and all of this stuff? You remember that, where he was like, oh, he's not even in Texas, and he's must be posting at like 3 a.m. and all this other shit? Is because from the get-go, I was against that narrative. I knew something was completely off about this. And it's just insane, dude. But anyways, I've never supported this from the get-go. And finally, something's being done about it. I want a refund. I think everybody deserves that. Well, if we want a refund, we should probably go to the halls of Congress and get it. But because they're probably pocketing a lot of that money. But anyways, I digress.
Well, let's not forget, because I know Trump hasn't, that one of the guys who tried to assassinate him, Ryan Ruth, I believe his name was. This is a tweet from End Wokeness here. He was all about Ukraine. He tried to enlist. He was involved, and
he was recruiting Americans, right?
Yeah, he was a propaganda outlet, and he was heavily involved in talking to the Ukrainians. So look, he was literally advocating to send them money and send them and to recruit Americans to join the military over there. And then he tried to kill President Donald Trump. Right. So let's not forget that key fact that there's some shady shit happening behind the scenes. And so when Zelensky comes over here acting like he's got big balls, nah, bro, you got nothing. So why don't you get your happy ass out of here, go around the world in your propaganda tour where all the corrupted world leaders, the compromised world leaders come out and start to say, I side with Ukraine and we're going to make this work and we're going to keep supporting, and go fuck yourself, guys. Exactly, I don't care about any of them. We're the leader of the free world. And so we get to decide. Not you guys.
Well, I mean, dude, to be quite honest, Biden wasn't really in charge. He's a puppet just like Zelensky is. And there are
Yep.
powers that be behind the scenes. You know, the ones that you never hear about. Those are the people that I really want Trump to go after. So people say like Congress is the deep state. No, they're all controlled by NGOs, PACs, and all this other stuff. It's the people that are funding all of this behind the scenes and controlling and just pulling those puppet strings. Those are the people that I really want to be brought to justice. And those names we probably never heard of before, besides the Soroses and all that stuff. But anyways, I'm glad that shit's over.
Well, speaking of Congress, and another big debacle that happened last week that we didn't really get to talk about much was the release of the Epstein list. And
what list?
yeah, well, the announcement of the release of the list.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it didn't go like we thought it would.
Like a fart in church, bro.
Yeah, it was really weird. Now, I do want to applaud the DC Drano guy and Shia Reichik for going to the White House. Scott Pressler also got the list, but
Did he?
he got the binder. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay, I didn't know if he did or not.
Now there wasn't much in there, which is not great. But in all reality, I don't want to give up hope that this is going to happen. There's so many people who are like, it's never going to happen. But in all reality, it has to. This is one of the things that there's no compromise on. It must come out, because what we've had for decades, and what we've kind of learned is that we don't have a constitutional republic like it was supposed to be. We have
Correct. We're a corporation.
We have compromised representatives acting in place as representatives of the people, when in all reality, with them being blackmailed and compromised, they represent the interests of whoever handled Epstein. Okay, Epstein is not, he was not the main bad guy, right? He was the face of it. He was the one being used and funneled around. I'm more interested in the ones who were behind him. Some people say Mossad.
Whoa, you can wind up on a canary list, bro.
That's a theory. I don't know. I'm just reading what I see on X, right? I don't know if it's true. I have no idea.
Right.
You know, I know that's like a huge thing to say.
I totally get it. I'm just waiting helicopters or something. But anyways,
I know. I have no idea. I have no clue, man.
I'm saying, dude, all of this shit is connected. Like the USAID money, Epstein, Diddy, Ukraine, everything is connected.
Yeah. Yeah. And
right,
in all reality, I want our representatives to represent us. And this is how I feel. This is how I feel the Trump administration has been, is that they've been the first ones to actually represent the people and what they want. And there is going to be fighting tooth and nail from the deep state, from the ones behind the scenes that are going to do everything in their power to stop this. Now, people are saying that this whole Zelensky debacle was to cover up the fact that they failed releasing the Epstein list. And maybe it was to get the heat off a little bit, but Kash Patel just got in as the FBI director. Dan Bongino's in there. I mean, these are the people that I wanted in there. I trust them.
Yes.
I think that they're going to do the right thing. And I'm not going to say that the first week you have to get this done, because I don't know the struggle that's happening behind the scenes. So I'm going to have faith that eventually at some point, and it should be in the, like, they should be working on it right now, right? That should come out.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I do. Okay, so it's a huge struggle, because I think what happened, the problem is Kash Patel stating that he would have released the list on day one. I don't think that was the smartest move, unless he had pure intentions on doing it, and then he actually saw the list and was like, holy shit balls, and like seeing exactly who's on it.
I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Well, okay, so that's another topic. New York's FBI, the field director or whatever,
The
withholding
field
information.
office. Yeah.
He was forcibly told to step down today. He should have been arrested, in my opinion, for obstruction of justice. But I posted about
Sedition.
that. Yeah, people were like kind of going off on me a little bit. I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway, so
There needs to be
here's how I see it,
consequences.
dude.
I think you're 100% right in all
Yeah,
reality. Like,
yeah. Here's how I see it, dude. So yes, I am very impatient because I've been patient for a very long time. And well, the American people, I've been very patient for a very long time to see this, right? However, like you were kind of alluding to, there are a lot of things going on behind the scene right now. And if they have high level people, these billionaires, these very powerful people they're trying to take down, it's not like just going rescue Joe Blow or Randy at the local convenience store. This is something that is going to be a major operation where they have hundreds of people that are taken down at once. And it takes a lot of time, effort, and resources to pull something like that off.
yeah.
So, but they can't be like, they can't release investigative material, if that makes sense. So, if like any
Yeah.
kind of, so that's probably why the binders were so like, yeah, we know this shit already. But if they're really trying to build a case and try to bring all these people in, it really does take time. And I mean, Trump's been in office for 6 weeks. How long has Cash been in?
A little
A
over a
few?
week, like 2 weeks now, or
Or
a week
2
and a
weeks?
half. I don't know. Something like
Bongino,
that.
what, less than a week? I mean, I do understand the frustration, but I think at the end of the day, if we want like actual justice, and we because we need it, we need everything we can to build up on these people and bring them down. So we can't just go off of a whim or just they're just on the client list or something like that. It's got to be the videotapes, the things that the actually
Yeah.
incriminating evidence that needs to happen. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I'm still torn. Some people say the
Joe.
list is going like Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, more than likely. But Joe asked a kind of an important question here. He said, "Why does the free world always need a leader, and do we want that role?"
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll take that question
Go
because
ahead.
when I say leader, I don't mean like a dictator or a ruler. I don't mean a ruler of the free world. I mean that we lead by example, and we should want that role because America has the foundations to be the greatest country to ever be created by mankind.
Correct.
Because our rights stem from God. We recognize in the Constitution that they exist, and man-made governments are not allowed to infringe on it, although we've kind of allowed it, because every single institution, every man-made institution will inevitably tilt towards corruption, especially when it gains power, especially when there's wealth involved. That's why churches have been corrupted. That's why tribal leaders have been corrupted. That's why every single institution known to mankind has become corrupted. But the foundations of this country give us hope. It gives us hope that we know as citizens that our rights stem from God and that man-made governments cannot infringe on or cannot take those rights away. They can only infringe on them. And it will reach a point, and it's almost like a guidebook that we have to be able to restore our government because we're not, I mean, almost everybody in America is not nearly as educated as the founding fathers were. They did not take into account all of these different factors that helped inspire the founding fathers to write the greatest document known to mankind, apart from the Bible, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. I mean, those two documents hand in hand are hands down incredible, and they will help keep mankind free. But when I say leader, I mean that we should lead by example. We should lead the world in freedom and show them exactly what it is to have the people in charge of the government. And we're failing at that right now. So we can't just overturn this by tomorrow night and say that we're going to fix the entire world. But in order to lead, we have to fix our own house first. So we have to be able to restore the power to the people. We have to make the representatives accountable to the ones they represent. Public figures need to face public scrutiny. Private citizens need to return to being private citizens again. Not have every dollar we spend tracked, every single transaction every time we move. That needs to kind of go backwards, because right now they're tracking everything we do, every dollar we spend, everywhere we go. We are not private citizens anymore. The public
Correct.
servants
Yes. Okay,
haven't
good.
been
Good, good.
public
Yes.
anymore. So that's what I mean when I say be the leader of the free world, is we need to set the example, lead by example, embody the values we wish to see in this world.
Okay, I'm glad you reined that in to like the individual versus
Yes.
like someone at the top, because at the end of the day, we don't need that person technically, because we are our own leaders. So if like we've always talked about that, the foundation of the home, then you can work on your community and work your way up. I think that's been the issue for so long. So many people are looking to hire, like whether it be those fucking pedophiles in Hollywood as a leader, or some elected representative. People need to stop looking to other people to be a leader. You need to be your own leader, and that is the only way. So that's why I get so frustrated with these elected representatives, because they are not leading their people that they're elected to represent. So I don't know. I'm just like really upset with that, because I know what it takes to be a leader. So just seeing these schmucks that are in Congress right now, dude, it drives me crazy every single day, because America does deserve better. But it just takes more of us to be able to recognize things like that in order to get the rest of the world, or not the rest of the world, the rest of America to actually understand what it means to be a leader. Because once everybody understands what it means to be a leader, then those people that are in Washington, D.C. don't matter anymore. And they never have, actually.
Yeah. And once enough of us get our shit together, I mean, we are really going to turn the tides in this country. And I think one of the things that I find inspiring is seeing all of the younger generation step up and have a voice.
Like
because
Gen Z?
yeah, I mean, Gen Z, I mean, millennials, even, they're stepping into positions of authority as well and setting the example. Like when we went to CPAC just a couple weeks ago, I mean, look at this. We are the media now, right?
We're all right. two retards.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's that new account? I find retards.
Hey, he hasn't found me yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God, I want to bring that up later in the conversation, but yeah, man. Sorry, you were saying something. Go ahead.
It's inspiring to see the younger generation starting to step up and realize that it's not on the government, the nebulous idea of government to fix our problems. Okay, yes, vote for Donald Trump. We did. We got him elected. Now what? Now we try to hold him accountable, but you have to get your own life in order as well. You can't just rely on the idea that government is going to solve all of your problems. And okay, so we started Eddie and I started the Patriots Prayer Network. All right, you guys can see the little thing up in the
right there.
Yeah. All right. My God, I'm all mixed up. So we started the Patriots Prayer Network. This is a volunteer network as of right now.
Yes.
We have some sponsors, which I should bring up, that shopwithamerica.us. They're sponsoring us right now. If you go to their website, shopwithamerica.us, Matt there, he will, once you sign up, it is a membership, and he will take you through the steps to actually get all of this, to join the club, to buy American. It is basically like Amazon, right? You shop for household items, you get shampoo, all natural shampoo, cleaning items. They even have steak now, which is really cool. So you can buy American made products and get it shipped to your door, which is functionally changing the way that how Americans spend their money. Yes. Okay. So shopwithamerica.us, sign up, go through the process to join the club and start buying American. All your daily products that you use every single day. Vote with your dollar. Start buying American. Okay, so that's one aspect of it, a huge aspect. Okay, shopwithamerica.us. Amazing. I started buying it. I have the products right now. I've been using them, and it's less poisonous, less chemicals. There's more natural products that you can shop for. So go for that. Try it out. Shopwithamerica.us. Okay, moving on.
Oh, hang on. This
Yeah.
must be addressed right now for a frequent listener, Mama Bear. Native, can I ask you? You have the best hair. What shampoo do you use?
Well, I don't know the name of it because my wife buys it, but she says it's
5W30.
really good. So, um, I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. I don't have the answer, but I relied on my wife. I was like, hey, will you get nice, if I'm going to grow out my hair, I want to use nice products. So she
Okay,
went out and
yeah,
buys
sure.
the products, and then I wash my hair, and then like at least once a week. So
You should
but I'm sorry, I don't know.
you should do man, I told you this at CPAC. You need that Native brand. You absolutely need to get them as your sponsor, bro.
I will tell you, we are in talks with a shampoo company that is all natural, that I would like to start using, but it's not like my hair isn't like this because I used a shampoo. It does help,
Just good genes.
but a lot of it's natural. Like that's what it boils down to. It's just like a lot of it's natural. Don't overwash your hair. It's just general maintenance of it. But I got just incredibly lucky with the native genes and having beautiful hair. But I am in talks with a natural shampoo company, that I would like to put out a brand because, obviously I would like to use natural shampoo and promote that. But
Are you gonna do like commercials where you're like in the
oh dude,
stream,
yeah.
lick your hair?
Yes. Yeah. Because we got a nice creek outside. There's a spot.
Oh, nice.
I already have it all planned out up here. So
Oh god, I can't wait to see it. I think
would
it'd be
happen.
so hilarious, bro.
yeah, it'd be a lot of fun to do. So we'll see if that goes through.
I'm a very visual person, so I'm just like really envisioning this, and I'm just laughing hysterically inside.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun, and maybe I'll have to get in a little bit better shape. But I mean, I'm in pretty good shape as it is. But I'm not like the standards are so high for like.
I see what you're
like
saying.
NFL shit. Like if I had my shirt off and I came out of the creek, flipping my hair and shit.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of a father figure. It's not perfect.
I heard
So
dad
I'm not
bods are in it,
sculpted.
so whatever.
I don't have a dad bod. I worked hard to get rid of that because I was getting a little chubby, and I went on the carnivore diet and lost all that. And yeah, man.
for
I
sure.
mean, yeah, tire work is a workout. That's for sure. I haven't hit the gym in about a decade, so it's a lot of it's just the heavy lifting I do every day. That's what keeps me in shape.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm cool with it. But
Yeah, I have that's actually really funny, Eddie. Yeah, I have to go to the gym because one, I don't have good genes, and two, I have a very sedentary job right now. So unfortunately,
gym
I
it
have
is,
to.
man.
Yep.
Get back to it. Hey, you know what we didn't bring up in the beginning of this podcast, which I am personally offended that we actually didn't bring this up. Because over the weekend, you guys, I don't know if you remember or if you even know about this, but apparently the Oscars happened over the weekend. And they had an intro which was much more superior to ours because they acknowledged the land. You guys listen to this.
Oh, enlighten me.
This is how we should have opened our podcast today, because all of the District 1 people made a point. And let's just listen in and hear what they had to say. By the way, I'm not going to torture you guys with the whole Oscars because this is the only part of the Oscars that I've seen. And
Okay.
I couldn't do it
Oh my,
after that.
dude, you didn't see Adam Sandler looking like John Fetterman?
I didn't see none of that, man.
I just
think
saw a
I saw
picture.
I saw a clip of what is his name? Robert De Niro coming out and he's like, F Trump.
Oh, yeah, that's all he does now. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a bitch.
But let's check out this intro, you guys, because it's very important, especially to Native Americans.
We gather in celebration of the Oscars on the ancestral lands of the Tongva, Tataviam, and Chumash peoples, the traditional caretakers of this water and land. We honor and pay our respects to indigenous communities here and around the world.
That's how they do it. They honor and pay their respects, you guys. That's how it's done. That's how you honor the Native Americans. Is you'll bring them up, the last tribe to own the land that we know of.
Wow.
You bring them up, make sure to mention their name, because I mean, who knows who they conquered it from? But
Exactly.
screw those guys. Those natives suck. They lost.
All I gotta
But
say,
yeah.
man, to the Oscars, how?
Oh,
I use my
and-
wife for a look at that one.
Yeah, they built mansions on top of the land, you know, and I mean, in all reality, mansions are pretty cool. But I mean, I wouldn't want to own one because I don't want to clean it, and I don't want my wife to have to clean that shit. But I mean, I can't afford it either. That's probably the main thing, you know.
Yeah, money's a factor.
Zero
Okay,
chance.
whatever.
Yeah, just a little bit. But
Oh God.
I think they did say Tatanka, something like that, in the Chuamish tribe and some other tribes. So that's the way that they honor the Native Americans. And now I feel good enough to where I should probably just give up my guns and support Ukraine. And
Oh, dude, Slava Ukraini.
yeah, yeah. Now I feel honored. Thanks, guys.
Oh God, what a
Those
shit
fucking
show,
bastards.
dude. Why
With all
can't-
that X money.
Yeah, all that X money, dude. All that X money you're making.
Yeah,
You make more than me.
$600 a month.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much. So it's eventually, man. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to. Oh, my bad. I don't even know if I want to go on that tangent right now because I'm kind of frustrated with it. But a lot
Yeah,
of time and
well-
effort, it's kind of defeating. But I mean, I am lucky where I'm at, and I don't want to sound like I'm coming off as like ungrateful or anything. But if you're a creator and you're at CPAC for the entire week, completely original content, and you don't really get any traction, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, that was my lowest week in a long time. Like,
Yeah, my metrics
low.
are down. We're down like 70% or something like that. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. But that's not the point of why we do this, you guys.
correct.
And like I said, with doing the Patriots Prayer Network, and I told you guys, this is a volunteer thing. This is a passion by every host here, including Steve. We do this because we're passionate about saving the country, not because
For sure.
it's going to be a huge moneymaker. Now, obviously, in order to compete in this space, we have to make money. Like there's several podcasts and events that are already lined up that I don't know how I'm going to pay for yet. So we do have to get sponsors, and we do have I'm probably going to have to set up some kind of donations, because in order to make these things happen, by next week, I'm going to be out of vacation time, because next week, you guys, on Wednesday, I'm going to the East Coast again to go do a podcast. I don't know if I should announce it yet, but it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm bringing my headdress. It's going to be great. But after that, like, I'm out of vacation. And since I'm the sole provider of income in this household, because my wife provides so much more than income. She makes our house a home. She's raising our kids. She's the best woman on earth. I fucking love her. Excuse my language. I don't know why I cursed there.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
You're passionate,
Mother
dude.
of my children. Yeah. Lady Patriot, shout out to you. You're amazing. But after that, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this stuff. And there's several events and several podcasts that I'm going to have to figure out how to pay for. So
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Try Gifts and Go. I'll share it out. I'll donate.
yeah, I guess we'll just have to do that. And maybe we'll pick up some really cool, sponsors that'll just be like, hey, here's some money.
Yep.
But I mean, in
Until
all
then.
reality, we're pretty darn picky with the sponsors that we go with. Which is kind of it's frustrating at times, because like there's just something in my brain that says, if I disagree with the sponsor, then we'll just shut it down. It's like, okay, moving on. And I don't get the couple thousands of dollars a month. And it is what it is. I'd rather have sponsors
If you believe that.
has been things that I've been promoting. No manscaping commercials. No, not yet. I mean, maybe
Oh my God.
Manscaped. I don't know who they are. Like, I've heard about them. I know that they're like a lot of gamers promote that stuff, but
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
I'm
know
gonna
much about
pass. Maybe we should just go on our what was it, like Speedos? And then what our hat.
Oh my gosh. No, I won't wear a Speedo. I'll wear a loincloth, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. You got to play the part.
Yeah,
I'll wear
loincloth.
assless
It'll be a little it'll be a little American flag.
I'll turn around and look
Yeah.
like Mike Tyson. Oh my god,
Dude,
bro.
that was shocking. That was wild.
Yeah, I know
that
that
was,
really caught so many people off guard.
As it should have. But totally
Oh.
worth it.
But
Oh,
anyway,
that was great though.
yeah.
Okay, Manscapes, it's a lib company. Yeah, see, I wouldn't do it. I just if they're promoting the liberal and the pride stuff, like okay,
Sure.
there's a company that's starting up right now that I'm gonna be talking with and you know seeing what I can do to help out. And they are not for pride. I'll tell you that much. We'll leave it at that. It's
I know
great. It's
exactly
gonna be,
what you're talking about.
bro. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge.
Oh god,
Really
It's gonna
excited
piss
for
a
it.
lot of people off too. It's awesome.
Yeah, but hey, we're promoting like the best stuff, so
Correct.
it's gonna be great. There's so many good things coming up that I can't even like. It's hard to process it. You know,
It's a whirlwind,
exciting
man.
stuff. Yeah. And it's I'll tell you what, going into our next subject here, because today, believe it or not, here's a tweet from Benny Johnson, which is one of the he's a cool guy, I guess. He's a nice guy. And if I could click on his tweet here without it freezing. Hello. Frozen.
Bueller. Every time we have this, should I do like a shanty or something? It's to kind of pass the time. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to dance on the podcast.
All right. Well, that page is frozen, but today in the Senate, they voted
Oh yeah.
for men being barred from participating in women's sports. And
Correct.
guess what? Every single Democrat voted against
Every
this
single
bill. Every single one of them. They want men to continue winning women's sports. I'll show you an example. Colin Rugg tweeted
let's see
this gem here. By the way, he says transgender high school track star demolishes the female competition. Woo, go men! All right, look at that.
Team man,
Wow.
I guess. God, dang.
Yeah, what an accomplishment. I'm sure it has nothing to do with being a biological male, but no, check this out, you guys. He
Sure,
is by far the best female out there. Oh. Look at this stride. Okay, here we go. Yeet! Destroying records. Making all those
doesn't even run like a woman.
making all those silly females look dumb. How can you guys can you imagine if we didn't have men ruining women's sports, what the world would be like? It would be like, you know, it would be like we honored women, or that we acknowledge that there's biological differences between men and women. But no, now the Democrats say they're for women's rights and they promote, you know, whatever stuff about women. I don't know what they say, but it is very clear that they want men to continue to dominate women's sports, breaking all the records, making it completely impossible for any women to compete.
Dude, I don't even understand. Like, why does that have to be brought up for a vote in the first place? Just like Trump signing the executive order that English is the primary language of the United States. I don't get it, dude. I don't understand how, as society, we've come to this point where we have to do things like that, or like, oh, it's illegal to touch children as an adult. Like, I just don't get it. I'm flabbergasted. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. I've never heard of a transgender when I was growing up.
There's a transvestite.
I mean, maybe that was like late 90s, early 2000s. I heard transvestite, and I thought it was just some kind of sickness, like a illness, like a physiological illness, not a mental illness. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know how we got to this point, but hopefully this shit is changing because there are men that are finally rising up and actually wanting to protect women and wanting to correct the course. And I'm just hoping we just get an absolute role reversal, for lack of better terms. You know, we just go like ultra macho and ultra feminine, like two genders. That's it.
Traditional values. And also, what's really funny about this is that instead of the Democrats adapting and learning from what made them lose, why the entire country, every single state, shifted to the right. Instead of learning from that, they're now doubling down and protecting the idea that somehow it's a right for a man to compete in women's sports, because obviously he's not good enough to compete in the men's sports. So he goes over to women's, breaks all the records, is like a mediocre man, and somehow still breaks all the records because there's biological differences. How is this? Among adults, these are supposed to be the representatives of the people, and they can't define a woman. To this day, they still can't define what a woman is, and they're still saying that it's good that men are going in and breaking all the records all the time.
I mean,
go ahead, Democrats. Keep doing this. You'll continue losing.
Dude,
Hopefully your party just disappears into history, because you guys are so far gone that the American people, regardless of what the media says and how they portray the popularness of transgenderism and men competing in women's sports, regardless of all that, the American people are seeing through it, and that's why they shifted right. That's why Trump is in office. That's why every single state in the United States of America shifted to the right, because you guys are Looney Tunes and you don't have the support. You will fail as a party, and keep doing it, because all of you guys need to be voted out. Every single one of you.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And I 100% agree. I mean, I could talk all day long how disgusting and all this stuff is, but they're never going to change, and they're going to continue because they're depopulation assholes. And 2028, guess who's deciding to run potentially? Tampon Tim. I really, really want him to run. Either him or Kamala. I mean, those two losers. Oh my God, dude. I really hope they run, and I hope they continue this narrative, because they're just getting an immense amount of pushback right now, and I'm here for it.
All right, you guys.
Oh God.
I want to play this. Because I mean, this is the Democrats' version, and I know most of you have seen this. Okay, if you're politically active before the election, you probably seen it, especially if you were on X. But I gotta play it again, because believe it or not, I showed this video to my buddies last night, and they had no idea. They were like, "This is not real," and I was like, "It is real. This was their plea to move men over to the Democratic side."
I see.
Here it is.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Let's go through it.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough.
Bro. Okay. All right. Look at how he's sitting.
I cook my steak rare.
Bro.
How manly, bro.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter.
I doubt he lifts 500, deadlifts 500.
Yeah.
Doubt. He's in shape, but still doubt.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid
We
of
can
bears.
tell.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women. They want to control their body.
Especially when I'm competing in their sports and breaking all their records.
What is a woman, though? I wonder if any of those guys can define what a woman is. I don't know.
I don't think they could. I don't think they could.
Bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies.
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Dude.
Man enough to know.
Why'd they have to make it so gay?
Wow. Oh my God.
Oh.
what
well,
kind
keep
of
going.
donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sister
Wait, hold up. What is this referring to? Man enough to not to ban young women from reading Little Women. Is that one of the books that was one of the pornographic books? Make it stop. we got to go through this, Sherry. I'm sorry. We have to understand the enemy. We have to know what they think a man is. And I mean, first of all, if this guy was actually a farmer, all right, there's no way that he's out there every single day because he would be 250 pounds less than what he is. This dude is morbidly obese. It's the first time he's ever put on a cowboy hat in his life. And there's 0% chance that he actually tends to his own garden. And he might eat carburetors for breakfast. He might. I'll give him that.
For sure.
Lots of carbs. That's
my
for
God,
sure.
Dude. Yeah, Haptic Stranger makes a good point. He'd be much more tan because he would be out every day. But
True.
anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
You can see the tan line right here and how, he should be darker. Good point.
yeah,
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
Goodwill Hunting.
West Side Story.
drinks more semen.
All right. Okay. All right. We're done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, cool.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to expose that to you guys again. I know that a lot of you have seen it, but it's important to understand. Like my two politically uninitiated friends that I was talking with last night, they had no idea. They legitimately thought they're like, this is fake. They're like,
They
I
thought it
refuse
was
to
like a
believe this is
Babylon
true.
bee.
Yes.
They thought like it was a parody film because, dude, parody is reality with them people, man. I'm just
Dude, they
like-
became a caricature of themselves.
I like to cook my steak raw.
I hope she can receive my full-throated endorsement. Oh,
You're
my.
full throated something else, partner.
my goodness.
Yeah. They're
Brutal.
the antithesis of what masculinity is. God.
That's what they believe. Like they believe that there's toxic masculinity, which is like everything on the right, but they see that as like what men are supposed to be. Men are supposed to just are supposed to cry in front of their wives all the time. Okay, there's a few acceptable reasons for you to cry. My wife has seen me cry once because when I was divorcing my first wife and we were going through a long process, there was a time period where I thought my son was going to be taken away from me, and I shed a tear, right? I wasn't bawling my eyes out, but I shed a tear. That's the only time my wife has seen me cry. And, yeah. But other than that, dude, like, you can't just watch some rom-com and then start bawling your eyes out because you know what your wife is going to look at you and she's going to treat you like who's that leftist influencer, Destiny, right? You're going to be the cuck in the corner.
Like E.T., by the way.
Huh?
He looks like E.T., by the way.
Yeah. That's he's not really the masculine type, but that's what they want. That's what they want to promote as like what men are. That's why the MAGA has tied up with MAHA because we want to get the plastics out of our food. We want to get all these chemicals that feminize men that are making men weak. We want to stop that because we actually need men because our entire society was built by men. The founding fathers were men. I mean, they crossed the Delaware on Christmas morning to go slaughter their enemies, right?
Correct.
I mean, that's some man shit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And
we're gonna kill you on Jesus' birthday.
That's intense.
Yeah, that's a little
shit, man.
blasphemous. Maybe I shouldn't have said it like that, but whatever. The Lord provides and forgives. But yeah, absolutely, dude. All that stuff, like, it was like so over the top that it was like, okay, this is so fake. Because I don't say, hey, Maurice, how much can you deadlift? Oh, if you can't do 500 pounds, you must be a woman. You know, it's like people don't talk like men don't talk like this at all.
No, I've never heard any of my friends ever speak like that ever.
this is what they're but this is like this is like what they do. They try to redefine things. They try to redefine what genders are, what masculinity is, what femininity is, what it means to be an innocent child. All of these different things they're trying to redefine and reconstruct, like revisionist history, even with the anything in politics right now. So what they're trying, they're just trying to change the landscape of what it means to even be an American.
Yes. Well, yes. Okay.
You
Good
know?
point. Okay. Because I've been talking with Kerry Burns as of late. If you guys don't know, he used to work for Fox News. He left them because they kind of a long story, but they weren't really doing exactly what he wanted. But he gave me the story in his Substack to share. And I would actually like to kind of point this out because there's a lot going on that has a larger agenda, right? They want to disconnect Americans from our roots. And it starts in a lot of ways with Native Americans. This is one of the reasons why I like to wear a representation of a headdress. This is why, because I want to bring Native American representation back. Now, you might not like the way I represent it. To all my Native followers out there, this is a representation of a headdress. This is not real eagle feathers. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's not real eagle feathers. I didn't earn every feather, but my great-grandfather wore a real headdress where he earned it, okay? And I would never take his headdress and put it on and dance around with it and make it rain, okay? I would do that with this because I enjoy it. I love Native American culture, but he put out an article here. Redskins outrage was cancel culture con ignited by a group with cartoon. So basically, all in all, what this boils down to, if you read this entire article, it goes behind the scenes, shows how hypocritical they are, and that there is a larger agenda behind the scenes to start bringing us as Native Americans to disassociate the way that we helped inspire the founding fathers to write the Constitution with the Iroquois Confederacy, and with the ways that they with the ways that Native Americans helped form this country and what it is, why Native Americans have served in the military at a higher per capita ratio than any other demographic in the United States. Native Americans need to feel connected to this country, and Americans need to feel connected to this country. What they want to do is sever the roots. They want to say that the founding was bad. It was created by white men and for white men only. That's not how it was. The founding of this country is the most beautiful thing ever done by mankind. And I mean that with sincerity. The way that mankind has always been is war, slavery, and tyranny, and monarchy. And the founding fathers changed that. There's a reason that why the Constitution wasn't written in the UK before. It needed Native American influence. That's why ours is so unique in all of human history. Because it had Native American influence, it had Black American influence, it had all of this influence that created the Constitution, and it came to fruition in the founding fathers. And we as Americans need to celebrate that, whether you're Black, white, Native American, whether you have an Asian background or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We all contributed to make this country great, and we need to remember our roots, and that's the only way we can get back to making this country great again.
Yeah, and they hate every fabric of that too. You see it how they're going after white people, or they're trying to segregate all of these people because they understand that if they try to separate all of the different ethnicities and backgrounds of all the American people, they know they can conquer us. But boy, I tell you what. If we all combine together in that American spirit, just like we did after 9/11, that was like one of my favorite memories of all time. Not 9/11 itself, but the reaction after, the American spirit, how everybody, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're my friend because you're American. And if we do that, dude, there can be so much fundamental change in this country. If we all just join forces and say, it's enough. We're tired of this racism or whatever psyop you're trying to pull, because we're done. We're over it. We want you to represent us, and if you can't, you can get the fuck out of office.
Yes, and that's what we need. Is we need power back to the people. That's what this MAGA movement is. And I try to say this a lot because the MAGA movement is a unifying movement. This is restoring are the connection we have to our roots, to the founding nations, stopping cancel culture, which has a Marxist ideology that wants to segregate us, separate us from our roots and what actually connects us. Okay, they're chopping off the tree branches, and so we don't know where we came from. And therefore, we must tribalize in order to make it. And that's why they've created the Oppression Olympics. Who can be oppressed more? I mean, think about how many billions of dollars the tribal reservations have got all around this country. Have you seen an improvement in their lives? Have you seen an improvement in these reservations? Show me, please. If you're a Native American and you're insulted by what I'm doing, how I'm representing Native American culture and trying to bring back representation, please show me where tribal nations have significantly improved their reservations and their people with all the billions of dollars they've got. Because what I see in my reservation is the same old, same old. I see gang violence. I see drug use. I see enabling bad behavior and trapping these people in a mindset, promoting the World Economic Forum liberal values that are destructive to American cultures. I don't see these tribal nations standing up against the World Economic Forum or any of these liberal globalist pieces of shit that have been using the Native Americans to destroy our culture. Native American history is American history. We are intertwined with this country so deeply that we should be celebrating it and reviving it. We need to be reviving our roots. And I don't see it. So please, somebody, show me the proof. I doubt it's there. I'm doing everything in my power to restore Native American history and promote American history and how we can intertwine and move forward in that process.
Damn, that was good, man. That was really good.
Sorry, man. I get fiery about this stuff.
Man. No, I absolutely agree. So I know we're kind of running a little over time, but do you think reservations are 15-minute cities?
Yes. I mean, pretty much, because the Native Americans there have been a lot of them have been so brainwashed into believing that this is their land, they're stuck here, and this is what they need to protect, right? Mm-hmm. And so they don't like to leave the reservation very much. I mean, it's so tribalist that I don't like it at all. I don't like the idea of reservations. They're little socialist hellholes. I mean, what was his name? I can't remember his name right now. Maybe I could find it really quick. But I
was just saying, you kind of see this all over, man. It's like the redundancy of these ghettos or the wards or even reservations where they're crime ridden. You know, they're infested with teenage pregnancies and abortion. There's poverty. When are people going to be like, okay, maybe we shouldn't vote this guy we voted for the last 20 years and actually find somebody or even run? I mean, if you really love this country and you really want to put yourself out there, I mean, go for it. I mean, this country is the greatest country on the planet. And if you want to serve your country, just do it. Because the people that are over there in Washington, D.C. right now, they don't give a flying fuck about any of us. And they made that apparent. Mm-hmm. Especially Republicans, too. Because when Biden was in office, all of these people like Crenshaw wanting to send money to Ukraine overseas and U.S. AIDS money that they've just been pushing overseas for God knows how long. These people that are representatives, they have not cared for the American people in a very long time, and it shows.
Absolutely. And this is why X has been so important to me specifically, because I wouldn't have been able to do virtually anything that I've done so far. And like even partnering up with NAGA, the Native Americans Guardians Association. You know, I was just talking with them last week, and I mean, they got some good things coming out too, and it's just there's so many movements that are finally starting to recognize how vital it is to understand how intertwined all of us are in our mixed history, nobody's a pureblood, right? I don't believe that there's any 100% Native Americans out there, because we have such a true diverse history, and we should have become a melting pot. And if we would have focused more on that, as opposed to this identity politics and the oppression Olympics, and who can get more social currency based on how oppressed they are? Well, I'm a woman.
God.
I'm a woman of color, and I'm a woman midget of color, and I have this disabling mental disability where I should get more points. And then, TikTok came over, and they're incentivizing views from bots more than likely than anything.
Yeah.
They're incentivizing views and making it become popular to be more and more oppressed. And so now everybody is segregating themselves into these tribal groups, and they're not actually understanding that America needs to be the leader of the free world, and the only way to do that is that the people retain the power, because otherwise we get people like Epstein who blackmail all of our politicians, and then none of our politicians actually represent the people anymore, and they're just compromised, and they start representing these special interests and these pedophile lovers, and it becomes it becomes collapse. That's why we have $36 trillion in debt. That's why we start revolutions around the world. That's why we fund the revolutions and create these factions that overthrow their government, because that's our letter agencies run rogue. That's why they're so scared to release the Epstein list. That's why the FBI field office in New York has been defying Pam Bondi. That's why we haven't had representation in a long time, because we've had compromised puppets in office showing. Every 4 years they come out and say, "Hey, well, we're gonna keep trying to do this." Yeah, that's why if you listen to a Ronald Reagan speech 50 years ago, we're still arguing in the public sphere about the same shit: lower taxes, abortion. It is the same exact shit that we're being distracted with. The border. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed. 50 years.
It's all by design, dude. All by design. They do this. They give you the illusion of choice, just like with Shop for America, how these big box stores, there are only 7 companies that control basically the entire food industry and cleaning products and all this other stuff. So they give you that illusion of choice. So Democrat, Republican, bro, they're exactly the same. Let's be for real. They're uniparty scumbags. And I'm hopeful. I'm really, really hopeful right now. I don't know. I haven't been this motivated in a while.
I'll tell you what, the way we change it,
no, go ahead.
The way we change it is doing exactly what we're doing right now. And it's everyday Americans speaking up and embodying the values we wish to see in the world. It is not allowing the press conferences and what the politicians say to actually incentivize us to vote for them. And it's not allowing money to buy politicians. Kamala Harris spent billions of dollars, over $1 billion in trying to get elected.
Debt. And 23 million in debt, bro. That's insane.
And she didn't get elected. It's important. Yeah. It's changing the tide, because money has always bought politicians. The more money you have, the more money you have, the more likely you are to get elected. And that, people will say get money out of politics. No, understand who's getting paid, and understand that we need to start looking at merit over what they say. Actions will always speak louder than words. And the Democrats for years, the uniparty rhino piece of shit politicians that have been congregating behind the scenes to screw over the American people, we need to understand they're being paid to do this. They're being paid to screw us over. So regardless of who has money or who doesn't have money, if their actions are lining up with what you want, then you should vote for them. It doesn't matter how many ads you see. Ads need to be just thrown out of our heads. Start supporting companies. Start supporting people that you actually know for a fact are doing the right thing.
Right. Okay. So yes, I will agree that I think there is a change on the monetary thing, but unfortunately, that saying, in order to make money, you need to spend money. I do think it's going to take a machine to take down the machine. So these people like Lindsey Graham, Trump endorsed him, but he is probably the biggest rhino in the United States. How much money do you think is going to take him down? Bro, it's going to take an absolute it's unless he retires, which I don't see it because he loves Zelensky too much. But it's going to take so much to take these people down. So, the rhino removal project that I'm a part of, we're going after candidates that we know we can win. Because unfortunately, as much as I hate to say this, I do think Lindsey Graham is somewhat untouchable right now, unless there's some like a gigantic scandal where he's on the Epstein list or something like that. But I do agree with you that the tides are changing because of what happened with Kamala Harris, how she went to debt and she had to do that book deal in order to make enough money to recoup the losses. But I'm hoping, dude, I'm really hoping that more Americans wake up, and this is the time. Like Trump won, but this is not the time to let your foot off the gas pedal. You need to slam that fucker to the ground because dude, midterms are approaching next year. So we have to make sure we have the right people in office because this is the presidency that makes or breaks this country. We have to inflict so much damage on the communist deep state that they cannot recover. Like it would be impossible for them to recover. So it's going to take all of us, honestly, me, you, everybody on X, talking to family members, doing whatever you can, doing grassroots initiatives, or going door knocking during midterms. Or there's so much that we have to do because, man, it's these next 4 years are crucial.
Start speaking out. I mean, that's what Steve and I did. Literally, we've been doing this for 2 years. Combined, we have over 500,000 followers right now. I mean, and we're growing, and we got a lot of big things coming up. So it's not about having the following; it's about your message and who you can reach.
Correct.
Because you never know how far that ripple is going to go. If I could affect one person to start speaking up and to become the next influencer, right, or whatever it is, whatever we are. I mean, I just consider myself a patriot who's tired of being the silent majority, right?
Right.
I'm tired of it. But to add to your point here about Lindsey Graham, I made a tweet a couple days ago, probably, but I said before Zelensky met with Trump, Zelensky had a meeting with like Amy Klobuchar, Lindsey Graham, and a couple of other people who were like, "This is a bipartisan meeting. It's look how good it is." But then after the meeting, Lindsey Graham comes out, and this guy, it made me realize why he's so good at getting reelected over and over again. Because he knows which way the winds are blowing. He's an excellent politician.
Correct.
He's not an excellent representative. He's not an excellent American. He is an excellent politician because whatever which way the winds are blowing, he sets his sails the right way.
Absolutely.
Right after that meeting with Trump and Zelensky, look at what he says here.
President Trump was in a very good mood last night. Somebody asked me, am I embarrassed about Trump? I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance, standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again.
Right on cue, man. He just does it. He just knows.
It's okay. So this is exactly what they do. So, like you said, they're politicians, right? And we saw that with the cabinet picks. How many of these rhinos folded because of the public scrutiny? So it's not like they're going to change how they are forever after that. These people are a cancer to the America First Party. I'm going to start saying America First Party because I don't identify as a Republican. I don't. It's all fake. It's all generated. Bro, they need to be gone. They need to go. All these like McConnell, Murkowski, Cornyn, Crenshaw, all these people, dude, they're self-serving assholes, and they need to go. I'm just sick and tired of these people.
I agree. Hang on just a second. While I type this out, I can type pretty fast, but I can only type so fast. You guys, we have just crossed over the 10,000 mark, 10,000 viewers, which I really appreciate.
It's been a while, brother.
It has been a while. If you guys can, please go over to the Patriots Prayer Network on Rumble. Subscribe there. I know Eddie just put out a beautiful documentary right here called The Babylon Betrayal. This is the network that we've created, you guys. This is a network of podcasters. This is all volunteer work. We're all doing this because we love this country and we want to fix it. These are Americans that work 9 to 5s that have been struggling through the same exact shit that you've been struggling through, but wish to speak out, wish to be part of the conversation, do everything they can to make this nation better, not just embody the values at home, but speak out and encourage others to do the same. So please go over to rumble.com/the Patriot's Prayer and follow up there, join if you'd like. I mean, this it streams all the various podcasts that we have. We have Nate Kane, To the Point Podcast, Two Guys, One Coop. Clever name, by the way.
I know. I love that name so much.
Yep. The Cowboys and Indians podcast, of course, yours truly and Steve. Well done. Well done. The Based Mother. I mean, plenty of shows there. We're going to be bringing out more shows, more little mini documentaries as we can afford to kind of increase our production. And Eddie's doing a great job with that. You guys, please go watch that. The Babylon Betrayal. Excellent mini doc done by Eddie Smith and the Patriots Prayer Network as a whole. Fantastic. Yep. But the only way we grow is if you guys are able to share this. If you like this podcast or any of the podcasts at the Patriots Prayer Network, please share this. We would deeply appreciate it. So many things, so many great things coming up. We have another show on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And
8 p.m. Texan time, the correct time.
Yeah, I'll be over there at some point. I know that I'm still fighting in Washington State.
Yep.
For the good of the people here.
It is what it is. I understand your fight, brother. I really do.
The Swinomish people have been here for a long time, and even though they're really conservative, excuse me, my bad. They're not conservative. They're the exact opposite. Very liberal.
I think everybody understood that.
There's a lot of American kids here that really need conservative voices in order to save them, because they are doubling down on gender mutilation on minor
it's
on
terrible.
Minors. Genital mutilation. They're doubling down on it. They're doubling down on keeping boys in girls sports. They're doubling down on protection for groomers and pedophiles here. It is horrifying what's going on here in Washington State. So as of right now, I still plan to stay here and do as much as I can in my home state to help protect as many kids as I possibly can.
It's an honorable cause.
Yeah. It's something that I really care deeply about, because when I look at my sons, I got 2 of them, ages 11 and 2 years old. I really want to. I want them to grow up in a world that is not protection. It's not protecting pedophiles and trying to trans the kids and all of the things that they're trying to do here in Washington State. Basically, every reason why the Democrats lost, Washington State is doubling down on. It is sickening. It is gross, and I absolutely detest it. But this is my home, and I feel compelled as of right now to stay here and fight. There may be a time where I have to tactically retreat from here, but as of now, it's still livable. There's lots of patriots out here. So God bless you guys. God bless America. Steve, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here and go return to be husbands and fathers to our families?
Man, I don't even know. We talked about a lot tonight. Just tune in on Wednesday, guys. And if you can, please share this podcast, because the only way we can grow this movement and this voice and what we have building right now is if you guys share and support us. So thank you so much to the ones that have joined in, and shout out to everybody making comments. We see them all the entire hour. So thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you. We really do appreciate that. And I do got to say, the only reason we were able to go to CPAC was because of the donations from you guys. We did have the sponsor shopwithamerica.us, but that wasn't enough to cover the costs. We actually had donations all from you guys that were able to pay for our food and stay, and we were able to eat. We didn't have to go on a 5-day fast, which I was planning on for a little while. So, but it was a great experience, and I appreciate everybody that donated. We still do have that open. Actually, we did withdraw from it to be able to pay for the stuff there, but it's I don't even remember what it is. It's like givesendgo.pp or .com/ppn. But you know, for the upcoming events and everything, but we are sponsored mostly by you guys. You guys are the ones that are helping us get to these events. You guys are the ones that are helping us pay for travel and things like that. And we really do appreciate it. So, but if you can, please share it. I love you guys. We're starting a huge movement here with a lot more coming up.
Great.
So stay tuned. Turn on the little notification bell. Follow Steve over here at Steve Loves Ammo. Me at Law Native Patriot on all the platforms.
Wrong way.
Yeah, see, it's
I
difficult.
got to do opposite.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. Thank you guys. It's from the bottom of my heart. This has been a really good experience so far, and it is just the beginning. And I love the entire tribe of patriots that we've had kind of congregate here, and you know, this has just been, it's been more than I ever could have dreamed of. And
Absolutely.
I know that we're just getting started. So thank you. And good night, you guys. I really appreciate it. We'll see you on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. the Great Republic of Texas time.
Thank you, sir.